Right, legends, welcome to this tutorial video of Algo Master, our flagship indicator within the MDX Algo suite of indicators. This is the part one of probably a multi-series of tutorials about Algo Master, about how to get it set up as a bot, how to manual trade it, what it's good for scalping, medium-term or long-term timeframes, what the settings are. What I'm going to do in this video, guys, is I'm going to go through the overall settings of the indicator to get set up in the most easy way possible, and then there'll be multiple parts to this actual indicator itself. It's multifaceted, has lots of capabilities, lots of functionalities, and there's going to be different videos from different people from the team going through this indicator. It's our flagship, and it's extremely powerful. So what I'm going to do in this video is go through the general settings, how to get it set up, and I'll show you some of my things that I do on my end, maybe which you would take value from. And also I'm going to do a strategy video as well in the strategies video tab. So first thing you want to do, guys, is just to get it set up is click on indicators at the top. And at the very, very top, you'll see Algo Master. Literally click on that and it will come up on your chart. It will work on any chart on TradingView like we've said before. Now, the way you get the settings up for the indicator, guys, is you double click on the name of the indicator in the panel at the top left of your screen. You can double click on it. What you can also do, guys, is click the little like tog. You could call it like a settings tog. You can click on that as well. It will come up with the settings. And also what you can do, guys, you can actually double click on the line or double click on the indicator, and it will bring up the settings as well. Now, I'm really going to dive into it. This panel down here, guys, is showing you the back-tested results of the indicator from the last 25 trades. You can change this if you want to a different number. We recommend default at 25. You can put it to 10 as well. So it's showing you how profitable the indicator's been on that time frame you're on in the last 25 trades. Now, this indicator can be traded on scalp trading, medium-term timeframes, and long-term swing trading, depending on the time frame you're on and the settings that you configure. Now, one on sensitivity, it's a hard one to say sometimes, sensitivity. The sensitivity factor of 1 is more, let's say, custom to a swing trading strategy for a slightly higher time frame. And 10 sensitivity is more scalp trading, so in and out. So it's about velocity of how many trades it's taking. 1 is less amounts of trades, trying to catch the swings. 10 is much more trades. And you can actually read about this, guys, in the tooltip. So along here, guys, we have these little tooltips. You can hover your mouse above it, and you can read about, what we're actually talking about here in terms of what the sensitivity means in the indicator. Now, as you can see, guys, little tip quickly. If everything's green, it's a good time frame to trade. If everything's red, it's probably not a good time frame to trade at that point. And Algo Master has a way with an autopilot mode, is that autopilot means that the indicator is going to automatically choose the most profitable settings. Okay, so it's going to look at the last 25 trades. It's going to say to itself, okay, what's the best? What's been working the best on that time frame? In this specific example, it's going to be number 6. So what you do is you go Algo Master, you click on autopilot, and it's number 6. Okay, so it's always going to choose the most profitable setting for that time frame, and this will happen over all assets all the way through TradingView. Okay, the great thing about that, guys, is it's very good for automation. Now, the alert system is down here. There's another whole video about alerts. So if you are interested in alerts and botting, there's a video which says Algo Master bot setup or Algo Master bots. And we also have a discussion group in the VIP group. So in our VIP traders group, guys, you go to MDX Trading Bot and MDX Trading Bot Setup, and people can help you there as well. So that's another video, okay? But I'm just going to go through the higher idea of this indicator and what it means and how you can get set up. So this indicator as well, guys, you can set it to long only, short only, and long and short. So if you can see these green and, well, it's green and green, but different shades of green. I've actually got it on Morpheus settings. So it means that if you go to preset color scheme, you can actually choose different color schemes. I've just chosen Morpheus, the guy from the Matrix, because it makes it look good on my specific chart, but you can choose any color scheme that you want. And also you can turn off color scheme and manually program in the colors as well. So very customizable on the color side. Now, the buy and sell signals, guys, you can be programmed to just only show longs, only show shorts, and show the long and the shorts. This is important for automation because obviously you have long only, it's only going to take those buy trades, short only take those sell trades. But you can choose that setting here. You can even turn the signals off if you want as well. Now, in terms of color schemes, you got it. This here, guys, is called backtesting. If you put single on, what it's going to do, the indicator is not going to show you all of the backtested results for all of the different sensitivity settings. It's just going to show you the one that the indicator is set to. So it'll take a second to load. you can now see that it's set to auto sensitivity 6 and it's at 1.5%. Okay, so this means you're just going to see the one that the indicator is set to when you have autopilot mode on. If you turn that off, it will just show the default mode, which is 5, and the default sensitivity is 5 for a reason, because it's just the middle between, you know, a less aggressive entry and exit to a more aggressive entry and exit, and it's using a calculation to say, okay, look, if the sensitivity is high, it's going to take more trades. If it's low, it's going to take less trades. But what Autopilot does, which is the secret sauce, is it will just choose that for you, which is very, very powerful for the automation side. But again, there's another video about that. I'm just going to go through all the settings and tell you what I think, and tell you maybe some tips along the way. Because I am the founder. My name is MDX. I'm the founder of MDX ALGO. So data location, obviously, guys, is where you're going to put the data on the screen. Fine, you can choose anywhere. You can put this chart anywhere you like, okay? In terms of the trending line, what does trend line mean? It means this green line. You can choose the color scheme, change what it looks like, etc., etc., etc. Take profits. Now, sorry, I missed trade data. So trade data is actually something, if I put middle center, this will actually be in the middle of the screen. What this is going to show you is a little preview or a little information box, which will tell you what the current P&L profitable factor, the trade that you're in right now, is essentially giving to you. So say, you know, your trade is up 5%. This box will tell you that your last trade is up 5%. In this specific case with a short, it's a down trade, okay? So obviously not every trade is going to be a winner, but overall you want to keep with the strategy is going. So this is a fake, or let's just say this is a trade that you would be able to fade, but I would say that the current trade is short and it's down 0.4%. Okay, so you can have this little screener here and it'll tell you exactly which trade you're in and what the P&L, what the profit factor of that trade is, okay? So it's definitely a good little tool if you're using, say, an automated system, or you're doing some manual trading and you just want to monitor the trade you're in, okay? So right now, guys, you can see it's very volatile, but the buy and sell signals are happening constantly on this chart. I'm actually on the 1 minute chart right now, guys. So I'm showing you on a lower time frame, you know, how profitable this thing can be with all the settings open, okay? So next one, guys, we're looking at is going to be TPs. So take profits are these small signatures here. TP stands for take profit, and you get TP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can set automation to take profit automatically, but what we say is, you know, in terms of manual trading, is these are potential points to take some profit from the longs, and you do sometimes get, let's just say, reversions to the mean, maybe even tops and bottoms if you get to TP 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've never seen, from my personal trading, in the backtested numbers, we've never seen more than 13 TPs in a row, which is something to point out there. And if you do see more than 13 TPs, please go into the community traders group and show us, because obviously these indicators are completely dynamic and evolving and changing every single day. So we could get a crazy up or down move which continues over 13 TPs. Now, TP sensitivity is just how aggressive you want to be coming in and out of your trades. We recommend keeping it at 5, depending on your strategy. But if you're really low time frame and you're scalping at a super, super high velocity rate, maybe you could reduce that and make it so it's in, out, in, out, in, out very quick. Sensitivity 1 is fast. Sorry, the other way around. 10 is fast, 1 is slow. Re-entry. Now, this is a pretty awesome feature, actually, which a lot of people overlook. Obviously, we're on a lower time frame right now, so there might not be that many examples of a re-entry. But I'm turning it on now to see if we get it. But the way this works, guys, is say you get a buy signal here and you missed it. So you came to the trading desk here, and then all day it just ran up and you never, ever got an opportunity to get back into that long position. What re-entry does, and because we're on a low time frame, it's not going to give it much. There's not going to be much re-entry positions because it's happening so quickly anyway. But let me just see if I can find an area where we're getting some re-entries so I can give you an example. This is an uptrending area, so let me just see if we get anything. If I turn on re-entry again, and let's just do long and short. Let's see, yeah, we did get a few pop up. I think you could have just seen that. Let me just quickly go back and see if it will change back again. So if I turn it off, let's turn it back on just so we can see it. There should, yeah, a few do appear. Okay, obviously we're on very low time frames. On higher time frames, it's slightly more powerful. But what it does is it allows you to, if you miss the first signal, you get a TP. It actually has logic that says if the price looks like it's going to continue after a TP, it will actually give you a re-entry, so you can actually jump into the trade if you miss the first buy signal. This was a common, theme of people coming to us with feedback and said, well, I missed the move. Like, how can I get in if it's already happening? So we added the re-entry feature, which is a tool to allow yourself to get into a move if you missed the first one, okay? But because we're on a lower time frame specifically, you won't see that many, but slightly higher on the swing side, you're going to see more of those re-entries, okay? So re-entry is great. Sensitivity, again, re-entry sensitivity is how aggressive it wants to be. 5 means the middle. So 10 is fast, 1 is slow. You can configure these very, very down to what you want, but we obviously leave the settings how they are at the default settings. Everything's 5 at default, okay? So in terms of order blocks, etc., this is going a little bit into a different part of the indicator because actually this is additional settings. This is the main kind of core buy and sell signal which you will be automating. But additional settings, actually, there is some, there are some added tools here which they can be quite powerful in confluence with the buy and sell signals. So I'm going to turn on order blocks right now, and how you should be really looking at using this is, say, if you get a buy signal and you're also in a support order block, the probability of that trade placing and playing out is actually higher, and you could put a bit more weight on that trade. So for instance, this is a support region here. You have a buy signal in support and a buy signal in support. Both of these did actually turn out to be good trades. But what the point is that you can use this support and resistance, because order blocks, what it means, and we probably will change it to make it more simple, because we have on AI charting tools, our other indicator, we call it supply and demand, support and resistance. And these are order blocks, okay? And this is where orders are building up on the chart. So it's supply and demand, support and resistance. Support and resistance is more of a line on your chart, and supply and demand is more of an area of your chart, okay? So to make a point, order blocks is a great tool, and it's a confluence factor. It's not automatable, because obviously you probably could actually program something in on wonder trading, but I would say that that's very, very advanced, and you'd have to speak to our team to see if that's even possible. But most of what order blocks are about, it's showing you where the support and resistance zones are in an automated way. And a lot of the time, guys, you see the price come back to these levels and bounce off them. Even here, guys, green zone, saw some resistance first. It's a confluence factor to say, if you get a buy signal, say you're automating this indicator and it's happening in the background without you doing anything in terms of a bot. What you could also do is have it on your chart and say, well, the bot's buying here, but this is a nice trade. There's a few other things pointing that this is actually going to be a good support region. So what you could do on a manual trade is actually add to that position and actually take an additional part and add to that, put some equity into account, add to that position, and actually have more exposure to whichever position it is going to be, long or short, okay? So that's another way you can do it. Order blocks with advanced is showing you some information about what the volume is in that block. So what percentage of it is long and which percentage of it is short, okay? Single is a little bit more clear, or let's just call it simple. Sorry, that's what it says, simple. This actually won't have the numbers in it. It will just be the area, which actually is how I have it, because I don't necessarily need the volume, because when you get overlap, that's when you're seeing the volume on the chart. So overlap is an important part of it, okay? So bands. Now, this is a super, very, very powerful part of it, okay? And this was requested. Well, the idea was created in the team, but it was requested to see how are we going to make volume slightly more actionable and make it so volume actually can allow you to have some type of edge within trading on TradingView, because volume isn't directional in its nature, but this is actually an indicator that is trying to make it directional, and actually that's what it has achieved, especially with confluence. So the bands mode, guys, like this. And you can see quite simply here that the combination. So combination is our tailor-made way of calculating where the band is. So you have Bollinger, Donchain, and Keltner. We have a combination system taking multiple different types of bands and putting them in together to create our secret source indicator, which we think is the best. And obviously you have order flow here, guys, which is called order flow dominance. Now, order flow dominance is what you see these green zones above or below the price. Now, make it really simple for you, and I'll get rid of the screener right now just so we can actually see the whole entire price chart here. You can see that if you have an area, guys, where the price action comes into the bands here, but you also see these green bars, and on your screen, guys, it will be slightly different. It'll actually look like this, because if you haven't got Morpheus settings set on, which is the color scheme, so Morpheus is the color preset I have set. If you put it to manual, which is what you're going to see out of the box, going to be a red and green indicator. then this might make it a little bit more simple. So as you can see here, guys, it's come into resistance multiple times. You've seen sell pressure at these levels, and then it's turned around. Again, guess what? The price of Bitcoin's moving down, sell pressure above it. Then what's happened? Oh, we've seen buy pressure coming in, and the sell pressure has it's alleviated. There's less sell pressure above it, more buy pressure below it. That carved out a bottom. Now, you can use this in thousands of different ways. You can program this into strategies which you think can work. But usually what I use it for, just to give you my kind of take on it, it's more of a confluence factor. So let's just say you turn on the order blocks on advanced, and let's just say this. You have a buy signal. You've got loads of green underneath that buy signal, which is another confluence factor. Say you can have more confidence that actually the buyers are in control, so you can take a position. And then when order blocks loads up, let's just say, for example, here's a good example. You have an order block, you have a buy signal, and lots of green underneath the price. That there is just giving you more confidence that your trade that you're in is going to be a winning trade. Generally speaking, used for manual trading. You can program this into automation because all of the Algo Master settings are automatable, and you can make Algo Master into a trading bot. There's another whole video for that, so you can go forward and watch that. And we use a third-party system to make it so you can program that very well. And I won't mention the third party now because it might change into the future because we have our own APIs coming in the actual portal to allow you to do this. So, you might be watching this video in 6 months. But yeah, so this is another tool which you can use to give you an added piece to your strategy to say you've got a buy signal, you're in an order block, and also, the order flow in the dominance bands is actually positive. And actually, let's say, for instance, in this example, buy signal in an order block and it's green. Great. Even more confluence, you're going to get an upside move, okay? So let's keep going, guys. You can change the band sensitivity. Like I said, 1 is very passive, 10 is very aggressive, so you can program this. Color schemes, you can put retail. This is actually, a really nice one. So I'm going to put this on auto and just turn off a few of the other settings we have. So I'm going to turn this one off, guys, because I don't want to make it so it's super cluttered. Turn these off, and then let's turn on retail demand reversals. Now, stablecoin is one of my favorites. I'm going to put auto on for now, just to show you what this setting does. And because stablecoin is essentially telling you when stablecoins are in either demand or not, you're probably not going to get any signatures on this. No, you are going to get signatures. So you see these, I'm going to have to zoom right in. You see these dots here, guys? These are essentially articulating to you when the price is either overbought or oversold in an extreme fashion, with certain different parameters set into it. So stablecoin Dixie obviously this is the dollar strength, and then the VIX is volatility. Stablecoin is what stablecoins are doing. Are they in demand or are they not in demand? And if they're in demand, that means you're probably going to get to a point where the price is going down, and vice versa. So stablecoins, no one wants stablecoins. Guess what? They have to be buying something. Overbought, oversold. So Automatic is taking a combination of those in from the code that we're using to give our secret sauce as well. Similar to combination bands, we have our own automatic settings as well. But what it's designed to do is give you those, let's just call them high probability areas where you're going to get some sort of reversal. And usually, guys, you do get pretty good hit rates with it. Again, a confluence factor you can be using within the indicator to increase the probability of a winning trade. We actually have re-entry on. You can see re-entries on right there. We've left re-entry on here. So a good example of re-entry was you missed this buy signal. Guess what? You got another buy signal towards the end. And then look, automatic overbought signature, snap back. And that's actually all set into that. And then you can play around. Stablecoin's my favorite, but we won't go through every single one. You can go play around with that. Slightly different configurations in terms of the calculation it's making, okay? So it gives you those potential overbought and oversold areas. We probably will get one down here. Look at that. Very, very nice. You've got a significant sell down. Actually, I had one up here as well. And then you have all these dots. This is the automatic settings set onto it. And that actually did time a very nice reversal mean to, you could call it a pivot play or a pivot play reversal point, potentially some sort of directional move to the other way. And that's exactly what's happened, guys. So I wouldn't, this is a tool, which you can use in confluence with all of the other things you see on the screen that I'm using right now. And I'm just trying to paint that picture, that if you have a lot of things all on at the same time, that's going to give you a confluence indication. And the more things pointing in the same direction, the higher the probability is going to be. And you can do a spreadsheet, draw them out, or just leave them in the indicator in an automated fashion, but have a spreadsheet and tick off the ones when they start happening, in real time. Okay, so yeah, really good stuff here, guys. And then we've got the RDS. So this is basically the setting we just had on, guys. The retail demand reversals sensitivity. Say sensitivity 10 times in a row. I promise you, it's a difficult one. Regular divergences, obviously, guys, we all know what regular divergences and hidden divergences are. You can put these on, and they'll come up on your chart, the regular and hidden bearish or bullish divergences. And you can actually, this comes from an oscillator, which is a momentum indicator, because obviously you need to know what the momentum is to understand what the actual probability. Well, let's just say a divergence is not a leading indication. You need to know what the momentum is of the chart as well as the price, so to know that it's actually doing something like, for instance, bearish divergence. And you can see here bearish divergence, and bearish divergence. Each time you did have a snapback. Again, with the bullish divergence as well, you're getting the same. There's actually two examples here. So you can have your divs on, guys. You can actually turn the line on and off as well. So bar oscillation colors, this is basically the oscillator we have called Wavemaster. You can have the colors onto your chart, and you can use Wavemaster, guys. We have a full video about Wavemaster, which we do obviously recommend watching. This is kind of getting into more charting stuff. We do have we have this built into our AI charting tools in an automated fashion. So in AI charting tools, which is another indicator, you can use these settings as well. But you can come here, guys, and you can just basically turn on manual Fibonacci's. Manual will actually be better. Let's just actually do okay, look, a little bit of a secret sauce here. Stubifibs and Uberfibs. What do they mean? Go into the academy and you can find out about what they are. They're two different types of ways of analyzing Fibonacci's, specifically built by a guy in our community, and another system is built by a trader from Citigroup who uses the Uberfib system. And actually one of our guys called Will in the community actually explains how Uberfibs works. But just a little tip here, guys, go into the academy or ask someone in the community, where can I find the video about Uberfibs and Stubifibs? You're going to get a response and you'll be able to watch those videos. And this is another thing about the ecosystem, guys. Lots of value packed in with small things which you can garner some value from. So daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly opens. This is when the market is opening and closing, essentially. And actually, you can use this yourself to get lines on the chart, open and closes. Hey, presto. It's a nice way of analyzing the market. It's a little bit, it's not something which most people use, but it's in there as a tool which you can use if you want to. And then, guys, here we go. So this is actually getting into advanced configurations. Now, advanced configurations is, do you want the indicator to only use specific sensitivity settings? So let's just say this. You've got it on multiple, and you know exactly what trading strategy you are trying to execute. And you say to yourself, well, I actually don't want it to ever do 10 or ever do 1 on sensitivity. So you never want it to be too aggressive. You never want it to be too passive. What you can actually do is you can set the automatic minimum and the automatic maximum, and you can squeeze the indicator into a smaller bracket. So it's actually not trying to scan all of the settings. It's only scanning, say, 5, 6, and 7, or 4 and 5, whatever your configuration is. Like it says, this is advanced configuration. So if you have a specific strategy that you want to use, you're automating that strategy, and you know from backtested results and what you're looking at that you don't really want to be using the whole breadth of the sensitivity settings. You just want to be using a smaller window. Then that's something which is offered in this indicator. So it's very, very advanced. Obviously, it says it's advanced in itself. So you really do need to know what you're doing and have this kind of... The thing is about Algo Master, guys, just a quick note here. Everything we've built is essentially, let's call it the Formula One of cars, right? It is something that is extremely powerful. Just because it's the Formula One of cars doesn't mean you have, just because you have a Formula One car doesn't mean you can drive it like a Formula One race car driver, though. So we're saying that we've given you the tools, which are the Formula One. It doesn't mean you have to use all the bells and whistles. You don't have to use all these things, but just so you know that they are there. And this is something which I always say to people, what you should do if you are looking for any extra support on this, reach out to our team. We have professional bot, indicator, mentoring, and we have full-blown specialists in all of the fields, which can help you do these kind of things. So, because I'm kind of going into this and I'm hearing myself speak and it's getting quite technical, but ultimately, just reach out to someone in the community. One of our mentors, one of our bot specialists, and one of our indicator specialists can go and do this on a demo call with you as well. So anyway, baseline you can change as well. So what is the baseline of the middle number? And then going through the thresholds of each thing to make sure that the rating threshold, so just to kind of make this as simple as possible, you have a few different parameters within the backtester results. So you have the threshold, you have the profit threshold, the win rate, and the factor threshold. So you can see here, guys, you have win rate, average trade, profit factor, expected bars, going through all of these different types of settings. What you can actually do, guys, is you can go in and you can change the threshold. So it means that is there going to be a situation where let's just say the profit factor goes below a certain number, you just don't want to ever see trades if the profit factor on that setting is below that number. So say the setting has a profit factor of 0.1 and it's just, you don't want to see any of those if it's 0.1 or below, you don't want to see that setting being used by Autopilot. You can do that as well with the threshold settings of all of the different things, going and niddly changing them, saying, well, look, if the profitability is, say, if it's not profitable, then I don't want to see it in auto. I don't want to have it. So Autopilot selects it. So for instance, if everything is red and that time frame isn't good to trade and the algo master isn't pulling out money, then no trades will be taken if you have it set to a threshold where it needs to be profitable for it to be selected. So another thing you can use in automation. Again, try my best to articulate these points to you legends in the best fashion possible. And then, guys, obviously, alerting and automation is down here for creating alerts to the indicator and automating the indicator. And that's kind of where I probably will end it, because there is another whole video going through the process to automate Algo Master. Now, guys, people in the community, all across our company, use Algo Master for completely different things. Okay, so any question you have, any issue you have, any query, there is never a stupid question about Algo Master. It is completely customizable, and there's probably millions of different ways you could use it if you really want to take into account every single setting parameter you can set. So there's no stupid questions, guys. Feel free at any point to go to our traders group, obviously, and you can go down to the settings and you can go down to bot setup, MDX indicator setup, all those pages. Also, you can reach out to support manually on the portal. So there's a little orange dot at the bottom right-hand corner of the portal. You can click on that, speak to us. You can book a call with us. The whole, this company, guys, MDX ALGO, and this is the first video you're watching probably for the indicator suite. This company as a whole is dedicated to giving you unwavered, incredible support every single step of the way, because we know that depending on how advanced you are in trading, having someone real to speak to who's a human being and get that personal touch and that personal connection to have a conversation, that's how you're going to progress much faster. The AI isn't great. The AI movement is great, but personal touch and actually having someone to speak to who's been through the trenches, for instance, a mentor, that's really what's going to give you, no one wants to talk to a fucking automated bot. And excuse my French in this community, but no one does really want to do that. It's actually much better to have a personal connection in the community, speak to people who have actually been in the trenches, use the indicators, been profitable, made the mistakes. And I'm rambling on a bit here, guys, but it's the first video you're going to watch, in the indicator suite, and all of the other indicators have fully comprehensive tutorials as well. Especially one of our indicator specialists called Jay, who's done some very, very in-depth videos as well. So, guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the MDX ALGO suite, and watch all the other MDX ALGO and MDX ALGO Master indicator videos. See you later.